Hi, this is Charles, and this is my playlist for the week of November 10th to November 16th, 2025. First up is Metallica's classic album, Ride the Lightning, from 1984. What can be said about this album that hasn't already been said? I bought Kill 'Em All when it first came out on Megaforce Records, along with their other two first releases, Raven, All for One, and Man-O-War Into Glory Ride. It didn't really vibe with Kill 'Em All. I thought it was fast, it was impressive, but it just wasn't my bag. I just didn't vibe with it, and I wound up selling that record to a used record shop not long after. Fast forward a little while, and being a Diamond Head fan, I was surprised to see a 12-inch single from Metallica called Creeping Death. I flipped it over on the backside to see what was on it, and there was a B-side called Am I Evil, which was over 7 minutes long. Clearly, the Diamond Head song. I was shocked, so I figured I had to buy this just to hear what they did. I loved it. I bought the album. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I played it all the time back in the day. Metallica are almost like a new band. It's almost like Kill 'Em All didn't even happen. This album and Master of Puppets are far and away my favorite Metallica records. At the time they came out, it seemed like they were going to rule the world, and eventually they did, but not in the way that I had been hoping they would. The loss of Cliff Burton really derailed their musical journey, in my opinion. Of course, their sales and their popularity continued on, so what do I know? Anyway, this album and Master of Puppets are, without question, two of the best, most influential, greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Next up, I listened to an album by Boss Keloid, a UK band, called Melted on the Inch from 2018. Their music is a sludgy, Sabbathy kind of metal with unexpected psychedelic and prog elements that mainly get expressed through syncopation and tricky arrangements. There occasionally are little folky passages scattered here and there with clean guitars. They don't last long, though. Supporting keyboards add color and texture. There's no loyalty to genre conventions or any kind of cookie-cutter songwriting. Boss Keloid are out doing their own thing, which I super appreciate. Vocalist, guitarist Alex Hurst reminds me of Butto from Last Crack, which is an unjustly overlooked band that I could talk about for hours. He has a strong, deep, powerful voice that's not your conventional rock voice. The songs all run between 5 and 8 minutes. The second song reminded me a little bit of Pearl Jam's Alive at first, but then it moves into heavier territory pretty quickly before there's a delicate odd time section that seems like 80s King Crimson Light. It's hard to describe this band just simply or straightforwardly. I will say that I have listened to their whole discography. I like this the best of all their albums I've heard. So if you're going to check this band out at all, I would recommend starting with this one. Next up is Cloudkicker, Unending from 2019. Mashing up post-rock and math metal, that's a good description of the starting point to describe this music. But Cloudkicker, who is really just one guy named Ben Sharp from Ohio, he's a commercial airline pilot, but he does this as his creative outlet. The songs alternate between little impressionist ditties almost, just little ideas and sketches, to thick, massive slabs of sound like, I hope I'm saying this right, Zayok, Void, or Blackwing through the tunes, that are as much about timbre, syncopated rhythms, or trance-inducing repetition as they are about composition or instrumental virtuosity. Although the guitar playing is accomplished, there are no solos. So you know what you're in for if you want to check this out. It is anti-virtuoso music, but a little bit on the prog tip and mathematically complex. I like it. The last album I listened to this week was the new record from Coroner called Dissonance Theory. Just came out. About 10 years ago, I read a book called Mean Deviation by Jeff Wagner, who has since written biographies of Fates Warning and Voivod. The book was about progressive metal, and he mentioned a lot of bands I had not checked out. So I checked out Coroner, among many others, a Swiss band who had released albums between 1985 and 1996. They started out as roadies for Celtic Frost, apparently, and the stage was set. Even to this day, Ron Royce's vocals remind me of Tom G. Warrior from Celtic Frost. I have to admit I was not especially enthused with their discography, so checking them out was kind of a one and done for me. Well, a little bird told me that I should check this new album out, and I am glad I did. After an atmospheric intro track, the album proper kicks off with Consequence, a 6-minute plus blast of technical thrash metal that could have come straight out of 1986. Then 2 minutes in, a change-up happens. Suddenly clean guitars and a creepy atmosphere before crashing back to the thrash. Surprisingly melodic progression appears before impressive harmonized guitar leads. That's just the first track, too. Other notable moments sprinkled amongst the consistently solid material? Okay, I'm glad you asked. The ascending chord riffing in Sacrificial Lamb, the Voivod-esque part at about 4 minutes in that track is also really cool. The Celtic Frost-esque passage in Symmetry, the triplet rhythm of The Law, and then it turns into just flat-out speed metal. There's thick dissonant chord stabs and Transparent Eye, and these weird, drunken, like detuned down tunings. It must be done electronically, but it sounds like somebody's tuning their guitar down. I'm sorry, I'm miming tuning a guitar during the song. And then there's an old school 60s and 70s organ in the song Prolonging that ends the album. Overall, very consistent, very clever. If you're a fan of Voivod or Celtic Frost, you absolutely should check this out. This is a reunion album that apparently Coroner fans are really into, and it is worth waiting for if you were ever a fan of the band. If you're into the heavier, like thrashier side of progressive metal, check it out. That's what I listened to this week, so I'll see you all next week. Oh, and here's my t-shirt.